Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another Outlaws of Thunder Junction main deck legendary creature that I'm trying to turn into a commander deck. And today is Kambal, Profiteering Mare. 1 white and black for a 2/4 human advisor. And whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your opponent's control, for each of them create a tapped token that's a copy of it. This ability only triggers once each turn. And whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under our control, each opponent loses a life and we gain a life. Yeah, second ability, quite easy to do. First ability, not so easy. You've got to give your opponents things that you really then hope don't beat you up and that you can stay away from and win the game still through getting tokens of your own. It's a very confusing card. However, there are quite a few creatures in white and black that give our opponents tokens. There are quite a few instants and sorceries that give our opponents tokens when we do things with them. And that's really what I've built today's deck around. So, here we go. Hope you enjoyed this one. And if you do enjoy it, please remember to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the like button, leave me a comment, help me out with the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, today's deck looks like this. So, start at the beginning. Nothing in the 1-drop slot for creature-wise, but we've got a few 2-drop ones. So, Elias L. Core Sadistic Pilgrim gives us a life when a creature enters the battlefield under our control. And whenever one of our creatures dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Another creature, obviously, if they kill Elias off, you just don't get anything. Hunted Horror comes in for 2 mana, gives our opponents, when it comes into play, put 2 3/3 green creature Centaur green tokens under protection for black into play under target opponent's control. Be careful with this one. Although it's 2 mana, it's very tempting to drop this on turn 2. If you have 2 black, you want to hold off until you've got Kambal in play just to help you out. Yeah, because you need a copy of at least one of them to block, so it's all good. Marching Duodron gives everyone a treasure token when it attacks, including yourself, so yay. You get your trigger off Kambal as well. Slaughter Specialist gives each opponent a 1/1 white human creature token. Again, another thing you want to do when Kambal's in play, so keep them going. Zulaport Cutthroat's just here for a little bit of draining when our stuff dies. And Academy Manufacturer's here because we do have some clues, we do have some treasures that get created, therefore we might as well try and get all of them out. It's a token deck after all. Delaney Streetwise Lookout makes an appearance because if an ability a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Kambal's got a power 2 or less. Delaney makes him trigger twice. Yeehaw. Sorry, that was a bit sad. Hunted Bone Brute is one of the new ones from Murder at Karloff Manors. This comes into play, gives an opponent 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. Has Menacing as 6/2, so yeah. And don't forget we can play it face down and pay the disguise cost to flip it up, so pretty good all round. Tessa Opulent Oligarch, at the beginning of our each end step, investigate for each opponent who lost life this turn, which we should be doing with our Kambal Profiteering Mare, so we might as well get the investigation on the go. So yeah, fine by us. And don't forget, because what a token will enter with the investigate, we'll get to do a little bit gaining and draining at the end of turn. One of the new cards coming in alongside Kambal is his sort of like lieutenant, I would guess, Baron Bertram with Grey Water. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under our control, we get a 1/1 Vampire Rogue creature token with lifelink. And then we can sacrifice another creature or artifact to draw a card for 1 and a black. Yeah, not so worried about that side of it, but we're creating tokens. We might as well get small tokens. Benny Brax comes over as well. We've got the Zoologist there at the beginning of each end step. If you create a token this turn, draw a card. Should be creating tokens for some of the things we'll be doing. And Bloodvial Purveyor comes back in from Innistrad, if I remember. I can't remember which one, but it's one of the Innistrad sets. Vow. Yeah. Flying Trample. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player creates a blood token. And whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each blood token defending player controls. So with this in play and Kambal in play, your opponents are just going to play spells anyway, create tokens, you'll get tokens and drain them. Makes sense to me. Alanda's just this filler card. I just like Alanda. If we're playing black-white, might as well have her in here to get some of our creatures as they die, to get this bigger and then get a whole load of vampire tokens at the end. Hunted Lamassu is one of the creatures I was talking about that produces other creatures for our opponents, a bit like our Hunted Horror. This one's the flying one that gives us a 4/4 black horror. That's cool. Mirkwood Bats had to be here, didn't it? We're creating as sacrificing tokens. Each opponent loses 1 life. We're creating a lot of tokens, so this should start draining people quickly. Moondrak, Glory of Dominus, is also here because we might as well double up our token production in creature form and hopefully make this indestructible as soon as possible. Mariel is just a bit of fun. I like playing Mariel whenever I get the excuse to. You can take this card out and replace it with something else if you'd rather, but having this come into play so our opponents can't cast or activate abilities, cast spells or activate abilities with artifacts, creatures and enchantments during our turn can be quite useful with this deck. The bonus 1/1 soldiers, yeah, we'll cope with that. Solemn Sim is just here for lands fixing and a little bit of card draw when it dies. Tessa Karlov doubles up the triggers when our things die and gives all our token creatures vigilance and lifelink, which does help again. Carmen, Cruel Sky Marcher, our opponents will probably be sacrificing permanents at some stage, therefore we might as well get +1/+1 counters and gain a life. Obviously we'll be sacking stuff as well, but it also triggers off for our opponents, and then when we get to attack we get to return things from our graveyard to the battlefield, so it makes sense. Cavalier Dawn blows up a very annoying permanent our opponents have, and they get a 3/3 golem, and hopefully we'll get a few as well with Kambal in play. Clackbridge Troll is from the original Eldraine set, if I remember correctly. When it enters the battlefield, an opponent gets 3/0/1 goat tokens, and at the beginning of combat on our turn, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If they do, tap the Clackenbridge Troll, and we gain 3 life and draw a card. People do tend to lock it down for some reason. Shadrick Silver Quillers are just a great way of giving your opponents tokens. You give them a lovely inkling, and maybe you draw a card and lose a life. They get an inkling, you get an inkling, everybody gets inklings. Fun. So Conrad had to be here. We've got creatures going to the graveyard. We might as well have this in to do the whole draining thing. Thalassa Reverent Medium. We create tokens. We might as well create some spirits to go alongside those tokens each turn. Massacre Worm basically kills all the tokens. We'll hopefully, no, that's not true. It doesn't really kill any of the tokens. But hey, it's a 6/5 that when we kill creatures off, people lose life. Yeah, we'll cope with that. And Ojatark, Deepest Foundation, is also here. If we're going to make tokens, we might as well triple up on the creature tokens, mightn't we? Hopefully we're making a lot more of them than we will anything else. Spells wise is where we start really handing out the additional tokens. Apart from Condemn, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, we'll ignore them, they're just spot on removal spells. Most of the rest of the stuff we have creates tokens our opponents have. One card I will point out is Afterlife Insurance. This is just so that if someone does wrath the board, we do have a way of dealing with it, and playing this gives us all the spirits tokens and we get a card draw out of it, so bear that in mind. Right, anyway, the things that target and give our opponents tokens. Angelic Ascension gives our opponents an angel when we kill the creature or planeswalker, exile a creature or planeswalker. Fateful Absence lets someone investigate for a clue. Get Lost gives another couple of map tokens. Afterlife gives someone a 1/1 white spirit. Crypt Swap gives 1/1 changeling, or shapeshifter I should say, with changeling. Excise the Imperfect gives them a incubate token. Generous Gift gives an elephant. Reduced to Memory gives us 3/2 spirit. And Stroke of Midnight gives a 1/1 human white creature token. The other cards, Toxic Deluge and Damnation, are just here to control the board. Could be Wrath of God, whatever you prefer. And then Awaken the Erstwhile. It's just a nice way, if you've got no cards in hand, you can make everyone discard everything. They all get zombie tokens. You get a whole load of triggers off Kambal. It's worth it. Ramp is quite heavy. Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Jet Medallion, Marble Diamond, Pearl Medallion, and the Talisman of Hierarchy are all here to give us some ramp. But we've got some other things in here, like Dowsing Dagger is also here because, we want to give our opponents creatures. So, yay. And equip this, flip it, and get the Lost Veil on the go. I like that plan. Genesis Chamber just gives tokens whenever a non-token creature comes into play for that player, which is quite serious. You can end up with a lot of Mir on your side of the board if you're lucky. Boots are the only ones. I don't think I put the other ones in. Yeah, I just put the boots in for this deck, so that's there. And Panharmonicon, because we're going to have artifacts and creatures entering the battlefield and triggering things. We might have them trigger again. Enchantments, quite straightforward. Tribute to Hirobi gives everyone rat tokens, which means we get a lot of triggers off Kambal as well. Bastion of Remembrance gives us a 1/1 and then does the whole ping and drain, gain and drain thing, sorry. Anointed Procession, you didn't really think I'd be playing a black-white token deck without it, did you? No. Same with Smothering Tithe. It's going to be here. We need the treasures. Cathar's Crusade is just quite nice because when the creatures enter our side of the battlefield, they just get bigger with the +1/+1 counters. And Infernal Genesis, another one that means our opponents will be creating tokens automatically in the beginning of their upkeep, which means our Profiteering Mare gets to trigger in everyone's turn, so it's all good, and it's once each turn, so we do get copies and we do get to get a little bit of life gain drain on the go. The rest of the deck is lands, as you would expect. Slightly more basic plains than there are swamps because we have Urborg in here, so that made sense. Everything else is what you'd expect in a black-white deck. Field of the Dead's here. I have got my usual Reliquary Tower and Temple of the False God because they're always here. And that is it for today. Again, quite quick, quite a short deck text today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments down below if you think there's anything I've missed out. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you can. A couple of people have joined over the last couple of days, so since I recorded the videos that came up previously this week, we've got up to 375 subscribers here on YouTube, so 125 short of getting my target of 500 by the end of the year. So if you can help out and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll be back next week with some more deck techs. There may be a stream replay coming up tomorrow as well, just so you know what I get up to on stream. If you want to see these decks played on stream, come and give me a follow down below over on Twitch. I will be streaming next Thursday night, and that will be the draft that I always traditionally do at the start of a new set. So draft on MTGO, and then we take it from there and hope we get one of these lovely legendary creatures I've been talking about so I can start playing the decks as soon as possible. But for now, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.